Good evening, I'm Sandi Toksvig and this is Watch the Dickens, a show that looks at culture from every corner of the world. Well, except of course Australia. And the Isle of Man. To be honest, we haven't got much from Guildford either. On tonight's show, Addison is joined by a comedian who runs a comedy club where comics are encouraged to perform new and experimental material. Well, new if it gets a laugh, experimental if it doesn't. Please welcome, after that experimental introduction, Robin Ince. And on Sue Perkins' team, a comedian who is frequently described as petite. Though don't say that in her presence or she'll punch you in the knee. The chances of me doing a short gag about somebody else. So very welcome. Please welcome Lucy Porter. The first round is 3 steps to heaven. Both teams are given 3 photos, each of which will give them a clue to a famous film, book, play or musical. 3 points will be given to them if they can work out what it is from the first impossible picture, 2 points if they get it on the slightly less impossible picture, and a single point if they can get it on the third picture, which is, well, it's normally a dead giveaway. So Chris and Robin, you're up first. Here is your first clue. Oh, it's Wayne Rooney's latest passport photo.
It's MASH, isn't it?
It's just that's it, yeah.
Excellent.
I like
that's 3 points.
That's 3 points straight away. I want you to think of, what can I tell you, a different name for potatoes.
Spuds.
Spuds, yes.
Is it the Jersey royal family, in which John Nettles plays the part of Ricky Tomlinson? It's very, very exciting. They have the same nose.
Murder my arse.
Shall we have a look at the second picture clue? That, as everybody knows, is the Velvet Underground. An early beat combo. Has that helped you get any closer?
Hang on, so it's a different name for potatoes. MASH.
Spud. I'm giving you Spud. I'm not giving you MASH. I'm giving you Spud.
Spud.
Who's
hang on. Who? Yeah, it's a character called Spud.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm going to move on to the final picture clue.
Oh, it's
which is
it's train spotting. Spud
it is,
waiting
the
for the
answer
man.
is train spotting. Very, very good. The answer is train spotting. The character of Daniel Murphy is known as Spud, hence the potatoes. The Velvet Underground recorded a song called Heroin, which is, of course, the drug to which many of the story's characters are addicted, and the action takes place in Edinburgh, which was illustrated by a picture of Edinburgh. So 1 point to Chris and Robin.
We'd never have got that train spotting. We're 2 little kind of middle-class boys again. I do hope it's going to be Brideshead Revisited again. I know all the Evelyn Waugh books, but I didn't even understand train spotting. Was it Scottish? Was it Esperanto?
Well,
it's ridiculous.
It's a curious thing you should ask that. Why was the first 20 minutes of the film Trainspotting re-edited for the American release?
They didn't understand it.
It was felt that American audiences would struggle to understand the Scottish accent. People think Trainspotting is an odd title, but I think it makes sense, because the only way I'd ever take up Trainspotting is on heroin. Right, Sue and Lucy, you're up next, and here is your very first clue.
Oh, Lord.
Oh.
Is that the Ocado men checking the delivery for John Prescott is in order?
That is pretty horrible looking, isn't it? It's meat...
It's carcass, it's abattoir. Is it Abergold?
It's
abattoir. Finally facing my abattoir.
Let's have a look at our second picture. That is the Apollo spacecraft, and a picture I think taken by a very brave and presumably fire-resistant photographer. Has that helped? So what?
Could it be a sort of meat rocket? I think I did see a film called that one.
Late night film, The Meat Rocket. Yes.
Inadvertently, you've said something helpful to yourselves.
Okay, let me see what's working.
Look at the 2 of them together. We have got a meat freezer, and we have got, what is the name of the space program?
It's Apollo.
Okay.
Apollo Creed Rocky.
Oh. Yes.
No way.
Yes, the answer is
Rocky.
Rocky. Absolutely right.
Oh, he's got
Stand.
Let's have a look at the final picture and see if that would have helped you. That is the Philadelphia Museum of Art.
He runs up and down them.
Yeah, the answer is Rocky. A meat freezer is one of the unusual training venues utilised by Rocky in the film. Apollo is both an American space rocket, but it's also the name of Rocky's opponent, Apollo Creed. And Rocky runs up the steps leading to the Philadelphia Art Museum in one of the film's most memorable scenes. So 2 points to the girls. Okay, this is absolutely true. What was the result of Stallone punching the meat so hard and for so long in the factory?
Beautifully tender when they finally cooked it.
He got BSE of the knuckles.
Kind of. His knuckles are now flat. That's a really bizarre thing, to hit meat that hard that you've got flat knuckles. Did you know that in the Tour de France, I don't think they do this anymore, what they used to do is in the morning they'd buy themselves a really juicy piece of meat and they would put it down their cycling shorts and they would cycle, you know, up and down mountains, and apparently tender as anything in the evening.
The inside of their shorts
with
or
anyone.
That is the
Nobody
French.
wants to eat it.
Sandy,
with
which
you.
piece of meat was tenderised? Just to be clear.
It's not my specialist area.
In the early days of... I love how in the early days in Tour de France there was presumably just loads of all the dogs of France just chasing the bicycles.
Rocky is my favourite sports film, mainly because it's just the right length for a good nap. The next round is called Love It or Loathe It. We ask our guests to choose something from the world of the arts which they will claim to both love and loathe. The opposing team will question them and must then decide whether that person does in fact love or loathe their chosen subject. So Robin, you're going to go first. What have you chosen as your subject?
I've chosen Charles Dickens.
Wonderful. Now you're going to love him or loathe him to begin with?
I think I might loathe him to begin with.
Going to loathe him to begin with. Okay, you have got 1 minute to do so.
Oh, Mr. Pomplechook, your thumb's in the figgy pudding again, laughed the great big fat idiot with the sideboards again. I'm just a little poor boy who's not been very well. Don't worry, it'll work out quite well for you at the end of all this, but some of your friends will die from leprosy or rickets, I imagine. Overall, there will be a good message, but much sadness as well, and it will give us some distance to be able to look at it every now and again and go, oh, it was so much better in the 19th century, said the member of the Tory administration, forgetting about the disease and death. Also it's an excuse for the BBC to go, well, we can churn out lots and lots of rubbish for quite a while, but once every 7 years we'll take out John Mills again, alive or dead, and place him on a podium to play one of the lead characters in a Dickens novel. And go, oh, the BBC still got it. They're still doing things with kind of lovely lacy things in them as well, and some of our lovely actresses looking young and some of our older actresses looking very fat, playing hilarious chefs and drinking hot soup. Oh, isn't it a dandy world?
I believe him that he loathes it, if I'm honest with you. Have you got a question?
Yes. When did you stop taking the Ritalin?
Do you know the amount of Ritalin I've had just to get to this level?
He's rattling with Ritalin.
I read the Daily Express again today. Well, that was a mistake.
Robin, it's time for you to totally contradict yourself. And I need a minute on you loving Dickens, please.
Why do I love Charles Dickens? Now, this is going to seem like such a terrible reason to actually like him, but I love Charles Dickens because of Alistair Sim. When I was probably 7 or 8 years old, I sat down with my dad and we watched Scrooge for the first time, and that got me to reading A Christmas Carol. And from there on, I went into the longer work. Some of them, I have to admit, Bleak House, a little bit too long.
It's my favourite. It curses on you. I love that book.
I find it just about long enough for a nap. Hang on, you can't do that reading, can you? Never mind, strike that joke. So really, this is what it's a childhood. It's for me a nostalgia thing. It takes me back to my childhood and to the fact that that's what sitting around watching Scrooge, watching Alistair Sim, and seeing the beautiful humanity that exists in Dickens.
Does he love Dickens or does he loathe Dickens? You now have to put your money where your mouth is.
I sort of feel there was more personal honesty about your liking it, and I could get suckered into an evil trap.
Yeah, no, I disagree.
Will say, in difference to Lucy, that actually, although he likes the work of Alistair Sim and loves Alistair Sim, he finds the books a bore and loathes them.
Yes, I
Yes,
think
okay.
you find
we think
Dick
that you
has
loathe Dickens.
Sally Field, Steel Magnolias. Loathe.
Well done, you.
Well done, guys. When Charles Dickens was 12 years old, his father was arrested for debt and the family was forced to send young Charles to work in the harsh, grim conditions of a shoe polish factory. Get ready. Luckily, he took a shine to it.
Oh, well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Take the rest of the day off. Thank you very much.
I know. I feel my work here is done. Okay, Lucy, it's now your turn to love or loathe something. What have you chosen?
I have chosen the ballet.
Oh, the ballet.
The ballet.
And would you like to love or to loathe the ballet?
I will be loving the ballet.
Are you going to be giving it as a dance, or are you going to be speaking?
Well, I mean, the ballet, one dance can do the work of a million words.
Oh, started with the love. Start with the love. Give me the love for the ballet. Go.
I'm loving the ballet. Well, I absolutely adore ballet because I just think, what other night out can you have where you have sort of poetry, strength, just gorgeousness, and also there is every chance you're going to see the sort of lycra-clad outline of a man's knobber. But it's a beautiful poetic art form. I mean, I was hooked when I saw the red shoes, like a lot of girls. And, you know, as a child, I saw the red shoes and thought, I want to dance, I must dance, I tell you, I must dance. And although, to be fair, when I did watch E.T., I thought, I must be an alien now. That was it. And when I saw Rocky, I started punching people. Anyway, but, yeah, I just always wanted to be a ballerina, because I have the diminutive stature. Obviously, I'm sure you dabbled as well. I went to Mrs. Miller's.
We're still talking about the ballet.
And unfortunately, yeah, my weak ankles let me down, as with so much in life. But no, I've always just adored the ballet since I've been a child, so you can't get me out of saddle as well.
Quick question about the ballet and her love for it.
What's the last one you went to see, Luce?
Well, I went to see the Nutcracker.
Which
at
production,
Christmas.
may I ask?
It was the Matthew Bourne production of the Nutcracker.
I see, that's about 7
Did
years
you
ago.
ever see Elvis the Ballet by the Shelfress Ballet at Sadler's Wells? What an interesting audience that was. It was half people in cravats and dressed most delicately, you know, Hawaiian shirted men, and it was absolutely marvellous.
It's extraordinary how graceful dying on the toilet can be made.
Lucy, please can we have the opposing viewpoint?
Okay.
And I need you to loathe the ballet.
Well, of course, I loathe the ballet. What right-thinking person would watch it? It's dull, it's stupid, if you've got a story to tell, then write it down. You can't dance. There's nothing you can convey. I mean, there are good dances, things like the Birdie song and the Lambada. Right? They tell a story.
Yeah.
You know, black
And the
laces
story is
and
I've had a bit to drink.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm at a wedding.
Alcoholic descent.
But yeah, I just don't. I've just never got the point of it, and I'm sure that they're very sort of trained professionals. But because it's not like classical ballet is just the same thing all the time. It's just someone. Oh, I'm a very pretty, lovely lady floating around. But actually, you just go, no, you've got feet that are as gnarled as Gordon Ramsay's face. Don't try and sell us on that.
Quick question.
Is there any other form of dancing that doesn't involve drink that you do love?
No, pretty much. I think the two are inseparable.
Right, you're going to have to make a decision now. Does she love or loathe the ballet?
Well, it was really difficult because I actually think ultimately you don't really give a jot about the ballet because both of your answers, it was... I mean, I'm a huge fan of Robert Helpman for various reasons.
Because he used to kidnap children,
Well, no, Robert Helpman played the child catcher. Some friends of his saw the child catcher and rang him up and said, I'm sorry about it, it's brilliant. They rang him up and they went, we're really worried you're coming around for dinner on Tuesday and our kids just saw you in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. They were terrified. Could you have a word with them on the phone? He went, of course, that'll be fine. When they got to the phone, he went, I'm coming to get you, children!
I think Lucy probably loves ballet. That's the sense that I get, although she's cussed type.
I agree with you. I think it's love.
I think it's love.
Love. We're going for love. Please reveal whether you love or loathe the ballet.
Look at her smiling.
Oh, is that so?
Oh, good girl. Well done. Very good. This is absolutely true. I took all three of my children. We were given as a gift the Royal Box at the Colosseum to see the Nutcracker. And my son was 3, and the girls must have been kind of 7 and 5. And along we went, and the lights went down, and the first lot of dancers came on. My son was sitting on my lap, and he'd got his dummy in his mouth. He was like this, and then the first scene finished, and the lights went up again, and more ballet dancers came on. And he said loud enough for the entire theatre to hear. He pulled his dummy out and went, "Oh, now what?" He and I spent the rest of the ballet playing tag in the corridor. It's time for a break now, and I'm going to teach Lucy where she's gone wrong with her plie. While we're away, here is a question for you at home. What sport is ballet thought to be derived from? We'll be back with the answer in just a moment.